to the upper bracket finals. Team SyndereN versus TUNDRA.
Curious to see how this hero really fits into the strategy overall, because this was not an obvious pick, I think, for TUNDRA either. I wouldn't even think it was one of the 5 heroes they were considering in this spot, so I want to see Radon convince us that this was the right choice.
As the Bounty Rune battles begin, Miposhka in a lot of trouble. Blood Grenade will slow him. He will go down eventually. Nightmare slows it a bit, but first blood for 33. And this is a hero we've seen at times. If it gets off to a good start, he just dominates the map.
So he was holding 2 skill points. And now on level 5, he's put 1 point into Moonclaves and holding another
He's
one.
dead to the hand of Whitemon, who gets a double kill, in fact. I mean, it felt like only a matter of time. Gyro pretty fearsome in lane, but Whitemon getting the double kill. A little bit surprised. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting because we cast the game where he went Pipe Crimson against Tidebound, and Tidebound just didn't have damage.
Shackle, not going to hit. There's Radon, though. X into boat. AA Blast is coming as well. Yatoro dead. BZM gets credit for that one. Some nice pick. Laurel, well, that's something to write home about, I suppose. Arcane Rune on the Ember, very fearsome. Stop the Searing Chains. Onto Whitemon, still looking for their first kill of the game. Avalanche is there, but the Shackle from Stocks into the power shot, into the Torrent. Do they have the damage to take out the Ember? Actually comes back in, and now he's going to get X'd again. As Collapse waiting by his Remnant to help him out. Looks like the Surge is not enough. BZM gets a huge cleave. 7-0 start for TUNDRA. Make it 8. Just getting destroyed in this early game. Our Spirit and Collapse. Well, you got an X marks the spot in 5 seconds for BZM. Just needs to stay close. No, he gets vacuumed onto this little baby cliff, but the X has the range. AA Blast coming. Down goes another member of Spirit. 9-0 for TUNDRA.
Uh-oh.
Miposhka still not level 6, so Bean's good. Not at the ready. Gets a Nightmare off, though.
Just got 6 now.
See Radon on his way over. There's the grip into the Eclipse, and that is a big kill for Spirit. It is their first kill of the game.
So a nice pick. Does give some bonus gold with the streak over to Radon.
TUNDRA going through the gate. Ooh, a little bit late there for Laurel. But the BKB now online.
This
for
is a bigger one, though,
again.
again.
Get ripped into the Eclipse as Collapse is there for support as well. Big kill for Spirit. And that is the second death for Crystal. I haven't really seen too much of him outside the laning stage, but yeah, Crystallis. He has the Crystallis along with the BKB, but the Aghanim Scepter is really where his farm starts to take off. So delaying it for his 3rd item is Laurel spotted here. Atos. I think I'm going to fully commit to this, but Posh gets taken out on the other side of the map, and yeah, too much HP for Laurel here.
But yeah, it's a good point about the Gyro. The fact that he goes BKB here instead of Ags first means...
Oh, double Burrow Strike from 33, but the Avatos on Rue gets on onto Whitemon, separating the fight completely. Big Sleight of Fist onto 3 heroes. Call down as well, but a vacuum onto the cliff. Can they get out of here? Luckily, they have Power Shot from Stoxa. As the Burrow Strike coming from 33 onto the high ground again. A lot of damage being applied to Laurel right now. He is dead. First casualty that actually matters. In terms of the core heroes, Rue will follow suit to the grave. Crystallis already with the BKB. So 2 for 1.
We'll see, though.
Gonna go to the enemy triangle is Collapse.
Did they catch a glimmer of him there? I don't...
Possibly.
Dire's top tower.
They will soon.
Now they did.
There it is. There's the Burrow. AA Blast being used as well. That is a dead Collapse, but they have the Eclipse onto Whitemon. Takes up a decent amount of the Lucent Beams as Radon. He's going to be caught off guard, potentially. They get the connection. They get the Burrow. He pops the BKB, though, as Crystallis will pop his own. Trying to go on top of Radon, attempting to run away at this point. Miposhka in the tree line, kind of ignoring him for the most part. Will Nightmare himself to try to delay as much as possible. It's 33. The epicenter, Radon on the outskirts of it. Can he get out of dodge? He's going to use the Manta style, but eventually gets brought down. 3 kills for TUNDRA, and that might not be done yet. Burrow Strike into the shackle. Not going to be the full connection, but they have the Torrent as the focus fire. Laura with the remnants onto the high ground should be fine.
So that was effectively a 3 for 0 because Whitemon died to the Ancients.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's cool to get some perspective of how 33 is considering in the game, like what he thinks is most impactful. Avatos, and that's a dead AA.
Most of these pickoffs, of course, are against the supports. BZM actually going to use the boat onto the opposing support, but the Nightmare dodges a lot of damage. Burrow strike from 33 at the epicenter as well, showing that Aghanim Scepter. 2 supports dead already for Spirit. And Laurel and company, I mean, I was going to say they're going to back away, but maybe they still want to fight. They're posturing as if that is the case. Laurel still has that amplified damage room.
Don has a good high ground position here.
Yep, 33, looking for the connection. Double Burrow strike again. He is all over the place as the homing missile will continue on to Yatoro. Power shot not going to clip.
He's going to man to dodge this 10 out of 10 times, surely.
You think so? Nope, he does not. Back wall is there, though, onto Crystal, who pops the BKB. They're applying everything on top of Yatoro. He's dead. And now they're going to find another pickoff potentially in Collapse. It's going to get Gale forced into the arms of the rest of Tundra. Feels like they're just getting everything they want. I'm surprised they went in 3v5 and they were punished.
It's a funny situation because the Luna wants to Manta dodge the homing missile, but then she gets X.
Yeah, it's weird.
And when you get pulled back, it's really hard for your muscle memory to nail the timing of it, so he mistimes the Manta dodge, and he was stunned the whole way through. Miposhka also going to get taken out here easily. 33 just owning it up, but I think what happened was they pulled back the X mark and the homing missile hit, and that's...
When you're up this much and have just won a fight, he is right for the pickings.
Yep. Assuming they'll put this Aegis onto Crystallis. Well, Rue trying to be cute, but Whitemon is cuter.
Yeah, he gets off the Avalanche. It's actually not that... It was pretty close to killing Roche, I suppose.
In the last-ditch effort, once you're caught by that Atos, you know you have no way out. Might as well try, right?
So Aegis for Crystallis, who is starting to do quite a bit of damage.
Nice shackle angle there from Soxa Atos.
Yep, he's got all the tricks in his book. Miposhka, man, feels like he's been chain feeding the last few minutes. And like you talked about, Bane in these situations when you're behind just feels atrocious. Zero intent right now for him.
Like, this is the best advantage they're probably going to get in the next 10 minutes is the fact that it's on cooldown. But unfortunately for them, another big item has just arrived for Crystallis that they do not know about, which is that Satanic.
Miposhka, again, nice dodge, but he's dead.
Well,
and they're going to find potential another connection. AA Blast is coming with 33 all alone, getting bursted down despite having the Bloodstone. Huge kill for Spirit. Rue will die, though, so 2 supports down again for Spirit at the beginning of the fight. Radon barely gets out. Laurel will follow suit as well.
Yeah, they do.
And we talked about the illusions from the wall. Not going to be that impactful this game.
Maybe he wanted to get Shivas, but they already have the one on Collapse, so he had to do something else. I don't know.
Avalanche. They might be able to find 1 kill here, but the ghost ship is coming from BZM. Laurel has to pop the BKB, try to avoid that completely, so they do take out Whitemon to start things out. But Laurel onto the low ground. I mean, can they even fight now, is the question. Posture next to their tier 2 tower. Rue gonna get brought back.
Toss.
And we'll get the toss back onto Soxa. Relatively tanky, gets the win run off as well. Shackle will connect onto the Darkseer. BZM trying to show himself. The wall goes off onto 2. Crystallis is gonna take out the illusion pretty quickly here, but there's the big Burrow strike from 33 showing up after the death timer as Rue and company trying to fight their way out inside of this. Radon just right-clicking away. 33 will fall first, but Radon getting super low. It doesn't look like Tundra want to continue this fight. Crystallis, again, still has that Aegis. Gets to the other side of the river. See if they can fully disengage. No, another toss back from Rue, but there's the Lotus run onto Crystallis, attempting to run out here and collapse. He has vacuum pretty shortly. They will find the first life onto Crystallis. Can Tundra still fight despite not having 33? Big AA Blast is coming. It's going to connect onto 3 heroes. Crystallis gets get that is a dead Miposhka to start the fight. Yatoro has to run away now. And they will find the connection onto Collapse. Dies inside the tree line. Nice Manta dodge, but there's a beautiful shackle from Soxa. A blood grenade at 31 minutes in the game. Yatoro has to try to fight his way out of this, but it is not to be.
Wow, what an insane Ice Blast. If that doesn't hit Bane, they lose that fight horribly, but because he has the shard, gets the stun, stopping the grip, and they're able to clean house. Whitemon had to come up big there, and that is the best AA ult I've seen all tournament. Hit 3 heroes, including Bane off. At least with my rationale of the Lunar Orbit, kind of defeats the purpose of why you picked it against AA. If you're feeling like you need to buy lifesteal anyway, then, well, the Ice Blast is still going to be the kicker in this late game matchup that you kind of can't solve in any reasonable way as Luna. Actually going to knock on the front door here. What team in the world does this? No Aegis, 20k down.
That's right. And they're going to get backstab. BZM and company are
maybe cost them.
Yatoro right into their arms. He gets shackled. He gets AA blasted, burrowed. Ghost ship dead. 90 seconds. Yatoro was not expecting that. Laurel will have to use the BKB to run away.
X mark.
He's gonna X. How low is this BKB? Nah, it's good. Still, that is as the Daedalus, MKB, Satanic, Ags, BKB, Aegis, of course.
Level 25, lest we forget that as well.
Yes.
Has the talent advantage over Radon. He's a level and a half away from 25.
Very true. He's gonna get X. There's the Roche banner as well. Should provide a lot of cover. Although they do have some mechanisms to get the creeps out of the AoE.
And they have Enfeeble. Can slow things down a little bit. Dropping the wall. Desperation measure. Trying to kill the...
Yeah, the Glaives will
banner.
eventually get it. That's a pretty good counter. Having it, that's why they picked Luna, of course, for this late game situation. Chrysalis at half HP. That's just life number one. Of course, he's going to get tossed back. Torrent onto Rue in the meantime. Chris has to pop the BKB and the Satanic. He wants to try to fight his way out of this. He's going to die first time. A lot of the items on cooldown, though, 33 with a big epicenter on basically the entirety of Team Spirit. They get Maposhka, he buys back. Rue tosses up in the air, dies shortly after. Chrysalis getting gone on. This is going to be his second life. A big torrent onto Laurel. Jumps right in. Lotus applied to Chrysalis. Has to be careful, though. It's outside. Oh, a big vacuum from Collapse as Laurel gets spotted and destroyed. No buyback for him. Radon does take out the gyro, though. That is a huge kill as the Nightmare. He actually walks up the cliff. Saksa in a horrific spot now. That's a buyback on the Laurel. They really need to defend this. Onto the north they go. Try to apply some pressure to Whitemon. Get him easily. BZM with the BKB TP. Otherwise known as the Nightfall. Very affectionately so, of course, as Saksa on the run. This is Laurel with that Aghanim Scepter, so he can get pretty much everywhere. And of course the Aghanim Scepter, giving all that extra mobility. I'm sure they would want to fight while this is up. 33 was spotted going to the high ground, but this is really good positioning from Tundra. Crystal is actually leading the way. He's going to get Searing Chain. Drop the homing missile onto Laurel. This little poke and prodding. 33 is really the initiator here for Tundra. Oh, he actually gets Avatos back into the fray. AA Blast is coming, not going to help 33. That's already a death for him at the beginning of the fight. Does have buybacks. It costs Spirit Rue, though, as Laurel just remnanting away with that BKB as well, as Collapse will be forced to use his own. And Chrysalis on the high ground, still posturing. Yatoro wants to go. He actually uses BKB, and they need to fight here. That's a buyback, though, from the Snake.
Oh, that's a big shackle.
Onto two, but that's a huge shackle onto Yatoro. Do they have the damage? Yes! Saksa gets the kill. Yatoro down and out. Buyback available. And 33 able to TP onto that shrine. And this is the beginning of the end of game one in all likelihood for Spirit. No buybacks on these three heroes. It's up to Laurel and Maposhka. Will Maposhka have another death to the support name? AA Blast into the power shot. Execution style. 33, what are you doing?
Oh, it
all
worked.
Right, it worked.
The Pirate Cloak.
GG is called, and that is game number one for Tundra. It takes them a while. Just shows how crazy Spirit are at defending, but Tundra will take game number one.
Tundra's undefeated strategy of Sand King Kunkka now racks up its fourth win this time around, not combining it with Caudle, but rather with the Saksa Wind Ranger.
I will be the Razor.
Surprise.
I mean, you gotta go for comfort, you know.
Yeah, and I think regardless of what Tundra pick here last, their first 4 picks look so scary together that I wonder if Spirit has enough to play into it.
A new hero from Collapse.
I think so too. I agree. I think they're gonna pick something new for him.
Underlord. How does that? I don't feel like that does particularly well against a Razor in the lane, though.
The Underlord is the big question mark for me. You chose to pick it into Razor, a traditionally bad lane matchup, but perhaps there's some bigger picture here with the meta shaping up to be a lot around tanky mid-game cores. You see Tundra take advantage of Kunkka a lot, and of itemizing for tankiness. Maybe Underlord can fit a similar role.
Oh, Ice Shards actually blocked Yatoro out. The Plasma Field's gonna clip him. Blood Grenade as well. First blood to Chrysalis. Perfect Ice Shards coming out from Whitemon.
But you have other solutions for Ember in your draft through X Mark and Roar. So carry doesn't necessarily need to have any meaningful lockdown. So it's a solid pick. I can't really question a Chrysalis Razor. If I like the draft, then I will, if it counters something, if it's kind of straightforward, he will always deliver. Rue again.
Static Link applied to Rue.
He's cooked.
Looks to be inevitable kill coming out from Chrysalis, you would assume. Indeed it is. And he will be working with Whitemon, who took the tag team facet, of course, it feels like we've been seeing that most of the time.
Nice block with the illusion.
Firestorm doing quite a bit of damage, gets the Pit of Malice off as well as Collapse. Yes, he's able to get Crystallis the last tick of damage from the Firestorm. Kind of unexpected kill turnaround there for Collapse. You talked about how bad this lane would be. He's having a great time.
This is not how you generally imagine the what's it called, the funhouse mirror to play out.
Yeah, that's
being
true.
able to find a kill in that fashion is extremely niche. But wow, what a play from Rue and Collapse there together to once again.
Oh, blood grenade. Last word is enough. Maposhka kills off 33. Collapse though. Will they get revenge? Whitemon with the nice blocks. Collapse kind of resigned to his death, but a big whip comes in from Rue. Crystallis gets the kill onto Collapse. Snowball will eventually clip Rue. Indeed it does, and they should be able to clean them up easily. Whitemon surviving as a result of that long-ass snowball.
He's of course saying, I'm helping you, but we all know deep down.
I mean, Soxa was #1 ranked carry in pub games on 4 accounts.
Yeah.
So just showing that
Strictly
he should
playing
be
Coddle.
I don't know about that. That's Crystallis.
Oh, this is a big kill.
Laurel with that haster. This is going to be a really easy one, and that is a big bounty going the way of Laurel.
It's true, he did already lose his streak, and if this play were to be successful, they just get it uncontested. But of course, at this level of play, Spirit know this is about to happen, so they make their own counter moves. A very telegraphed situation for both teams. Now it's all about who gets the angle. Collapse with the luxury of connecting from the other side of the map.
They have to run right into this newly picked up Black Dragon from 33. Ice Shard's actually blocking them entirely. Is there going to be any follow-up? Not yet. Wheel of Wonder, a little bit of an awkward placement. They use the snowball to get to the other side. They're going to be able to take out Rue very easily. One more Axis does the job, and now the number advantage for Tundra as they continue on trying to find another pickoff. BZM with X in 4 seconds. Torrent actually does hit Yatoro. Do they have any more follow-up? They have the roar at the ready. There we go. Gets it off with the axes. This is a lot of damage to withstand, and Yatoro will fall and Collapse, puts himself in a horrific spot. Is Laurel actually going to come to help out? Doesn't look like that's the case. They need to concede this. 3 dead for Spirit, and that means the Tormentor will go the way of Tundra.
Wall target, this time they have an Underlord with auras. He's not going to hit for anything. So Razor, if he pops BKB and links the TA, that's already an amazing entry into the fight. Now you're going to couple it up with a Radiance for the climb.
Chains onto 2. Wheel of Wonder there as well. They look into the gaze of the Wheel of Wonder. It's not to their advantage though. Whitemon gets off the snowball just before he dies as they get the roar off in the meantime onto the Ember Spirit, but Laurel has plenty of HP to work with. Collapse channeling through his Fiend's Gate, but the Torrent is actually going to stop the cancellation, and it's going to lead to his ultimate demise. But Tundra's already lost 2, including BZM on the Kunkka. Roach wants to fight. Will he get anybody to throw into the air? Nothing would make him more happy than to eat some hero for lunch. It's 33 with the axes. The Luminates continue to heal from the sideline from Soxa. 33 takes a burst of damage from Yatoro, who's now melded. Actually TPing out instead. That ends up being a 2 for 2.
I guess just the value against TA traps, against Pit of Malice, against Chains, just repositioning.
Wheel of Wonder going to be avoided from BZM, but that puts him in a precarious spot in the corner. Gets off the boat for the extra damage mitigation. Actually does connect onto Yatoro. Soxa there with a Will-O-Wisp apparently.
Oh, he missed the heal.
Taking his Fatus is there, but the heal does come out the second time around. But he is just burning down. BZM drops dead. Maposhka. More brain drain for him and more brain rot for Tundra.
He might have lived if the first Illuminate hit as well, and now 33 as well. Keep in mind, this is an Aegis. If he just wasted this for nothing.
Yeah, he actually uses the roar. He's going to get some teammates thanks to the recall, but that's a huge firestorm on top of everybody. Crystallis pops the BKB. They've already lost BZM. Crystallis trying to do as much damage as he can. The box is actually going to save Radon a little bit longer as Crystallis does get taken out in turn, and Team Spirit come out big time in this fight. And they're going to get more on top. 4 dead for Tundra. And Team Spirit, I'm surprised that they went in there.
Yes, I believe
the Tundra side.
I believe the play they made was Beastmaster got the roar off and wasn't done.
A little bit of a stalemate as we wait for Roche to spawn, which will be soon-ish. And Laurel would absolutely love to have that Sheikah's done this time, but it's probably going to be a little bit too soon for that to come online. Another smoke from both sides, actually run right into 33, gets Searing Chains. Will-O-Wisp already used as well, but the BKB for 33. The Wheel of Wonder completely misses. The roar onto Rue, but he's on the other side of the shard, so another awkward spot. Whitemon does get off the wall as much as Crystallis. He's going to focus everything onto Rue. Box is going to keep him alive a little bit longer. And now that the BKB is down, Crystallis onto the high ground. He goes in a full retreat mode. Laurel doesn't want anything to do with this. He gets in with the Searing Chains onto 2. Snowball feels like this is an inevitable second kill for Team Spirit, and indeed that is the case. And Roche should be theirs.
Just expertly kited from them there. You could see Radon was 33 was kind of pump faking his roar, but he can't roar the TA like he wants because he can't break the Lincolns. Kunkka was not in position to break it with the X, and then
that has blue in it though. I don't know what's in his cup.
looks pretty empty. Yeah, come on now. You can do it. Thirsty boy. Oh.
As Ruin Company, they find Soxa in the trees. He's already used the Will-O-Wisp. Gonna be an easy pick-off. Some extra vision there, but on the other side, Laurel doesn't have any backup for this one. Not quite yet, at least. Gonna dance around 33, looking for the roar. They can't find it. Laurel's just all over the place. Gets the Searing Chains, an easy kill into Whitemon, and 33 will have to Nightfall away as well. So that is never a good sign, because Nightfall's not on your team, and he's the only one that can truly get away with that maneuver.
Spirit's mid control is pretty impeccable here. Just not leaving any vulnerabilities. They're not giving Tundra any openings where they get one pick with the roar so they can snowball. The only options that are kind of being presented to Tundra is the Ember, who's hard to kill even if you do connect the roar, because again, damage issues, and the Underlord, who is every defensive item in the game.
Yeah.
Well, not quite, but he's got all the cost-efficient ones.
And Roche's banner gonna essentially counteract this fortification, and Radon will be knocking on the front door of Tundra's base. Will-O-Wisp activated and swiftly taken out. Very short delay. And the AC, the latest item for BZM, and they're gonna have to try to fight this.
That goes for a cleave.
Really
all
have...
the creeps are immune, so that's not great.
That's the least amount of damage I've seen a cleave do for a Kunkka in quite a while. Range Rack's taken out. Radon standing his ground, Aegis for another minute and a half.
The Lincolns?
They did, but he gets to the other side. Another Will-O-Wisp used, pretty damn low cooldown for that. Not having a big effect though. Roche's banner eventually will be taken out. No, one sliver of HP. Illusions couldn't quite do the job. Now the melee rack's next on the list for Team Spirit.
They denied the banner.
And they're gonna reset. Still a minute on this Aegis. No way to heal their buildings. Still waiting for some of those heroes to be. We've seen Winter Wyvern, but not with the correct facet. We haven't seen Tramp Protector a whole lot, if at all.
And it is interesting to see this Underlord, right? We saw it.
Top tower.
We were questioning the laning stage of it. We were questioning how it was really going to fit together. But one thing we might have overlooked a little bit too much is just how this counterplays Coddle. Because it's like, you're always taking care of the trash lane and you're always able to connect. So the advantage that Coddle has had in a lot of games by bringing additional heroes to the play, you're kind of doing the same thing from a 4 role, but then you're also buying auras that
Koshka, is he going to pop Global Silence here? They
Not
use
to the
a
high
decent
ground.
amount on him. Plasma Field applied, but the Wheel of Wonder, there's that Global Silence just before he dies. Will they actually continue on here? Radon actually backs away, just focusing on the 33 for the time being. The Pit of Malice being such a nuisance.
Roar.
There's a roar. A bit isolated is Radon. He gets torrented up into the air. Lotus as well, but he's able to get his lifesteal back. No, he's very low, gets boxed up for the time being, but eventually brought down by Tundra. They lose 33 in this engagement as Laura putting the Agnes Scepter to good use, but his mana is starting to get a little bit low. He gets brought back into the arms of the Snowball, but the Lotus will reflect it. He gets his own Snowball to work with, and they're going to turn the round onto Whitemon rather, and onto Crystallis as well. Radon with a double kill comes back in the game via that buyback and turns into a triple kill. And some way, somehow, Spirit with that double buyback end up team wiping Tundra.
That one Lotus Orb might have just won them the entire game.
The Lotus has been really
4
clutch.
kills.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lane of racks in the mid. And Radon working on the bottom lane now. Will-O-Wisp from Soxa, again, just trying to delay so they don't have to use every buyback in the book, but they might have to, especially Crystallis. They could maybe get away with 33. Wheel of Wonder plays, there's the double buyback. So everybody's bought back for Tundra now as Laurel and company try to retreat. Trying to go on top of Radon, but he's able to get off the Blink Dagger. Let's see if he wants to come back in. Focus right now onto Collapse, who has the double Pit of Malice to work with. Whitemon is dead. Tidal Wave coming out, but the BKB from 33 is already at low HP. Gets healed up from the Illuminate. As Crystallis left all alone might be able to take out Rue, but the
Collapse
box
cancels
is acting going to be
TP.
there. Collapse.
Is it bait?
Onto the high ground. It looks
Yes,
like it
it
is.
is.
Radon gets the bash off. Hurricane Pike. Global range now, and down goes the carry for TUNDRA. 2 dead, 2 diebacks. And now Spirit can just work on the base.
This is a flat out 5v3. Collapse does have his buyback. He could buy back and sell his treads for travels, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to do potentially that. Buys back into the game for the Underlord. Miposhka getting gone on at the moment. The boat does connect into the torrent. They really want to kill this side. But the box save again from Rue comes out. And that leaves 33 in a horrible spot. Surrounded for the time being, trying to put everything onto Rue, including the nullifier, but it is not to be. Another dieback for TUNDRA as BZM trying to finish off Miposhka. He does so, but it's not going to matter because GGs get called. We're going to a game number 3.
That was a very, very cool game. True battle of concepts here. Spirit. It looked like it was going to be another challenge just like game 1, but this time around they had the right tools to make. I'm not going to say this was a massive comeback, but things were definitely looking quite grim, and then they found one good moment of opportunity to cut the lead in half. They stabilized and loved their itemization.
And also amp damage to Kiro spells are all countered by this, so I think itemization favors TUNDRA later on in the game. If they get a single like Lotus Orb on the Tinker, hero that's very happy to build that, maybe even on Bristol if he's not in the carry role.
Got 3 seconds to pick a hero, and Gyro will be all right. Mid Bristleback it is. They were afraid of the slaughter, as you mentioned. They wanted to pick one of the counters. So this hero in the laning stage is definitely Gyrocopter.
The 20 CS minute 3 is extraordinary.
BZM gonna get ganked from the side. Miposhka coming in with the dual breath. Laurel, a couple extra right clicks, not quite enough though. Now Miposhka put in a weird spot. BZM has to just stand there and wait it out. He gets both kills. Does die before Laurel. That was quite the turn of events. The one hero that you can look into a corner, just stand there and still be quite fearsome. Whitemon going to get gone on by Collapse for a bit. As Miposhka actually TP's down here, so that's a triple threat coming out from Team Spirit. Dual breath onto Crystallis all alone. Bash is there from Collapse. 2 kills for Spirit in this lane. Creep, that is.
And as much as we were talking about the Bounty Hunter against Beastmaster for scouting things out, it's similar logic against Tinker, right? This has to be what Spirit saw in this pick, this game. It's just the ability to not only block camps, but also just recognize when the big stacks are being farmed so that you have the chance of contesting it. Seeing it right here, being put into
spotted. Laurel
use.
gets off the slow, gets off the stun. Rue is here for the assistance. No track yet, but Soxa surrounded by enemies. Spirit just taking over this area.
It's a flat-out masterclass on invading the triangle, right? Could just be a little bit of a warm-up for a bigger EO5 at the very end of it all.
Well, rotation from Spirit. They want to kill Crystallis.
They will.
And they will very, very easily. Down goes the Gyrocopter. Whitemon not in position to help.
March of the Machines, of course. So if you are standing still in the line of fire, you will still take quite a lot of damage despite having the evasion. It's arriving now. Let's see.
Pretty good timing.
They will be pushing the mid-tier one, trying to make TUNDRA move
Soxa
after
is going to
that.
show. No,
He will
get the
die.
crush and they get the track kill. A little hit and run. They get the tier 1 as well, as now a Blink Dagger comes for 33. So he can start fights himself.
A lot of the time you might not be able to utilize it. If you have a lot of defensive items like Greaves to remove the corrosive haze from yourself and to give people armor as you're dropping low, and all the healing might be the better approach here. It also feeds well into the mid-game overall.
My God, he really packs a punch.
Yeah, seeing
But the
red.
TP out in time from Miposhka. 33, he's tracked. Laurel teaming up with Rue. They have the damage. Goodness gracious. Laurel takes out the siege creep as well. BZM shows up with a defense matrix. This means he's untouchable, but Soxa is not untouchable.
You gotta
Very
be
killable.
really careful. I feel like a couple of these deaths for TUNDRA are avoidable. When the Beastmaster has already died up here, I don't think Windranger should just walk up and instantly de-ward. You know the Storm is still there, you know the Slaughter is still there.
He does have evasion, after all.
Yeah, why did he buy a Butterfly? It's not gonna hit anyone.
That's true. What a waste of money. What a noob.
Just rush Rapier and end it.
And Miposhka Gonna break this smoke potentially, Radon. They spot him, they get off the roar. Do they actually want to go for him? But okay, 33 dies instead. That is not how you start a fight if you are Tundra. And BZM looks to be next on the list. This is too easy for Spirit. Soxa onto the high ground he goes. Whitemon gets a nice little root there.
Oh, the
Collapse
crush.
comes in with a crush on top of Soxa. That is 4 dead already. Spirit do have some low members on their team, but they're able to exit freely. They start out on Yatoro, and then 33 just instantly die.
So I guess starting to plan for minute 50 might be the right line of thinking. Got to get there without bleeding out too much, though. BZM. If they find him here, let's put him to a test.
Let's see how long he can survive. They don't have too much vision in the area. They spot it. Yeah, the zip. Soxa, you're going to cancel that TP? Well, it's going to be canceled for you with the crush. BZM, he's dead.
Okay.
That didn't last too long.
Yeah.
So 2 kills swiftly for Team Spirit as they are suffocating the map now. And that looked like a curse word coming out of BZM's mouth. Very dirty, probably, knowing him.
I'm good at lip reading. I think he said bush.
That is a bad word, SyndereN. Rue. We'll apply some pressure to Whitemon, and that's going to open things up for Laurel to just get on top of him. They have the track. And it gets off the warp flare, though, Laurel.
Relatively tanky.
Yeah, pretty annoying to deal with as Chrysalis comes in with his call down, but Whitemon
There's the limit.
falls regardless. 12K lead for Spirit.
Another track kill.
Yeah,
I think he primarily buys it for the Matrix, and then it's just the icing on the cake that it also ruins Wind Ranger.
And Radon with that Aegis.
Arcane Rune,
Laurel,
Whitemon.
they find Whitemon in the trees. Another track kill.
I think this game is really inspiring for certain people to watch. It's like, when I play my games, Bristleback and Tinker seem invincible. And then in this game, they're dying in 2 seconds. This is a kill combo you guys can implement at home. The Slardar plus Storm.
Rue,
It hurts.
stun,
And he's broken.
break,
And he's dead.
dead. Mid lane, though, Soxa. He's gonna be caught off guard a bit. Gets actually the pretty high HP as Chrysalis finds 1 kill, but Laurel gets Soxa in return, so 1 for 1 in this mid.
CS on the horizon at 30 minutes.
25K net worth, that is insane. This is like Alchemist numbers. Jeez.
I mean, it's kind of fun to see a hero that has been played a lot in the off lane this tournament just return to its roots.
Whitemon, goodbye, good sir.
Another track kill.
Gorgon's Grasp sets it up. 18K, it just keeps growing. 2.5 minutes on Aegis. They've already gained 5K just from time that they've had that. So, my only question, SyndereN, when things get to this state, when does Gyrocopter... I was going to say when he buys Rapier, but he's
That's
just going to die.
question, Shannon.
When does Gyrocopter?
He's got a minute to think about
33,
it
he's going to
himself.
use the Roar on top of the Slardar. Maposhka's coming in from the sideline, though. Okay, they do get the kill thanks to Soxa and the power shot. Laurel, though, will get some revenge. And the Gorgon's Grasp keeps Soxa in place. And he's going to get bursted down by Laurel. Track just in time. And now on the doorstep is Team Spirit. They will take these buildings.
And to answer your question about when do you buy Rapier, I think next game.
Yeah. In
might
game
be
number
the most
1,
likely.
you will pick that up in the lower bracket
God,
and phase
damn it,
BZM.
BZM.
Very careful, young man. That's that blade mail. Broken again. But these buildings are just dead. For Don, this is life number 1, mind you, so this death doesn't matter too much. This will be a full set of racks in favor of Team Spirit, and they're actually going to jump the gun. Soxa tracked up. Gorgon's Grasp as well. Mystic Snake. He's going to get some help from Whitemon. Might be able to get back to base as a result, so nice defensive measures coming out from Tundra, but again, they've lost a full set at this point. Look at the damage just from one hero, Yatoro.
But that's a good shackle.
Yeah, he gets a nice shackle onto 2. Using that Gale Force to a high degree. Maposhka does get cleaned up, so that's 1 kill going the way of Tundra, but Radon, he packs a punch to say the least. Warp Flare again, gonna root the Bounty Hunter onto the high ground route. Looks like he'll be able to escape though. Laurel resetting, they want to go back in potentially. Yeah, it's likely just a wait for Team Spirit on the next Roche.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess the question is, can Tundra even contest, you think? Do they have the type of team that can deal with Spirit having this massive advantage in that confined area?
I mean, I would say not really, but the other question is, do you have a choice?
Yeah, might not. As Soxa deleted off the map. BZM already at half HP as Laurel apparently picks off Whitemon on the other side. It just feels like anytime they leave their base, they're just getting picked off one by one.
This map is locked down by Spirit. Nowhere is safe, whether you're being spotted or not.
A nice luxury Aghanim Scepter for Miposhka. Be good for this push, as Laurel's actually the one that is hitting the high ground.
He's got his 25 now and Parasma, so he has the Overload attack bounce plus massive DPS increase from the
There's the
Parasma.
Fortification.
32 galvanized stacks, by the way. Not too shabby.
Okay, well, BZM was there, but no longer. 33 gets off the roar, but he gets used up into the air. We've already lost 2 members. 33 will be the third. Crystallis and Whitemon to defend. There is a buyback for 33, but he's already expended roar. These buildings will melt very fast, as there's the buyback from 33, but they've already lost Whitemon. Crystallis dies from a long-range attack. He does have buyback, but again, what will that do? They will have to use it, though. 3 versus 5, Team Spirit. Well, they're going to get Gale Force and Shackled together. Radon doesn't really care. It's like, all right, clicky from anywhere, my friend. Mystic Snake comes out. And Radon and company will be able to get Megas very shortly. Big zip from Laurel. They end up breaking Mr. Soxa in the base. They're just hiding in their fountain. 30 seconds from BZM to come back. That is going to be Megas as Team Spirit. Honestly, if they want to continue, they can, as Soxa gets deleted off the face of the map by Collapse. And now the buildings start to melt. Tier 4's only thing remaining. As GG's eventually come out, Team Spirit will be going to the grand finals here at ESL on Raleigh.
What an absolute beatdown. And that felt like, honestly, more so than anything else, I feel like this felt like a really sound strategic victory. They gave away some of Tundra's absolute best heroes, the Beastmaster, the Tinker, the Bristleback, the Windranger, a lot of the stuff that Tundra have been winning a ton of their games with, and they completely dismantled them with new heroes.
Yeah.
Running the Slardar, running the Bounty Hunter, just came in with a fresh idea, and it crushed them completely. This game, I don't know about you, I felt like it was over minute 15. It was like Tundra were trying to hold on to dear life, and every time they tried to do anything, they just got stopped in their tracks.
Yep, it felt like Team Spirit just had their way with the lanes, and well, considering that they lost a lot of lanes in the first 2 games, and they still won 1 of the games, this was definitely not Tundra's best performance either, though. 33 getting shut down completely. I mean, how often do we see him 0-9 in a game? But for the Team Spirit side, Yatoro 9-0-7. Laurel, though, has to be probably the MVP of this game. 14-1 on Storm Spirit, and that's a hero. If you can snowball, it's super, super tough to deal with, especially with the lack of disables.